yes to our dignity. And the court said that our fundamental rights should not be put up for a vote. As a result of today's decision, couples everywhere in America get to marry and have those marriages recognized. Today's decision has been years in the making, and the ACLU is so proud to have been a part of this movement with each of you across the time. And I want to remember some of the people who came before us. Mildred and Richard Loving, who had to go to court to defend their fundamental right to marry as an interracial couple. Jack Baker and Mike McConnell in Minnesota, who tried to marry in the early 70s. To Edie Windsor, who took down DOMA. To all of the Oregon couples who've strived to get closer to marriage. And to all of the couples today across the country, the American Civil Liberties Union was proud to represent all of you. And today, we celebrate that America is a place where hearts and minds can change. I thank Basic Rights Oregon and our national allies like Freedom to Marry, who are so instrumental in changing hearts and minds across the country and teaching us how to change people's minds. Today, America changed for the better. Today, we are more fair, we are more free, we are more equal. But we are not done. Together, let's harness this Oregon spirit and energy to make Oregon a place where we can all thrive, where we all belong. We don't want to leave anyone out or anyone behind. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I've noticed a few other partners in the crowd. The Center for Intercultural Organizing is here. I see CAP, Cascade AIDS Project is here. Equity Foundation is represented. These are the organizations in our community that are carrying this work forward together. So thank you all for being here as well. We also have the benefit of having an incredible congressional delegation and 2 U.S. senators that are absolute champions for our communities. So I'm really excited about these next few speakers. We're going to kick things off with Senator Jeff Merkley, a champion since the days in the legislature when we fought for basic non-discrimination protections. Thank you, Jeff.
Wow, what a journey it's been till today. This is just fantastic. And Gina was talking about all of the partners, but there's another set of partners here. Can every gay and lesbian couple that got married here in Oregon raise their hands? We want to celebrate you and what you stand for. Here in Oregon, we've been carrying this dialogue in many ways on equality and opportunity, but today the words of Justice Kennedy rang out. And I want to share a couple of those words with you from his opinion, the ones that really struck me. And essentially he said that this decision is about dignity in the eyes of the law. Dignity, to find a life that could not be found alone, the right for every American to participate in an American institution, the oldest of our institutions that, quote, is essential to our most profound hopes and aspirations. So a huge advance in our lifetime for that most fundamental aspiration, most fundamental value. Let's celebrate. This is tremendous. know, it's been such a long journey together. Remember the 1990s and the Oregon Citizens Alliance? And then in 2004, a black mark on our Constitution, which marriage was defined as only being between a man and a woman. But since then, it's all been upward on the path, the aspiration for equality and opportunity, equality in marriage. We had along this path the 2007 Basic Rights Bill that Basic Rights Oregon was incredibly instrumental in. Human Rights Campaign was instrumental in. We won that in the Oregon legislature, and we won domestic partnerships in the Oregon legislature in 2007. That's not that long ago, but after I arrived at the Senate, so much has happened. That decision in Defense Department that said don't ask, don't tell, we got that thrown out so everyone can serve their nation in the military forces. And the DOMA law that said partners, same-sex partners could not get federal benefits, that got thrown out along this journey. And remember the Matthew Shepard hate crime legislation that passed the Senate and got implemented, so we made a particular focus in America on ending hatred against our LGBT community. And it wasn't just the end of 2013 that the Senate passed my bill others had worked on for years, for decades, but the Employment Non-Discrimination Act. And you know, the House didn't take it up, but the President followed up with an executive order that ended employment discrimination for 20,000 government contractors all across our nation. Thank you, President Obama. But we do have a long ways to go in discrimination, because you can get married in the morning today, put it on Facebook at noon, and be fired from your job by nightfall in dozens of states across this country.
Be cut now.
That is not right. The phrase that Justice Kennedy used of dignity before the law, and that he followed up by saying it's recognized in our Constitution. There is no dignity in the law if you are discriminated against in employment, and we must end that. There is no dignity in the law if you can be discriminated against when you want to rent an apartment, and we must end that. There is no dignity for the law if you can be thrown out of a restaurant or a movie theater or denied a mortgage, and in every one of these aspects, we must end that discrimination across this country. And that's why I've been working with partners in the Senate and partners in the House and partners in the civil rights community. And before this summer is out, we together will introduce the Equality Act of 2015 to end discrimination and deeply root that end in the Civil Rights Act of 1964. It's an honor to be part of this journey with you. And it's an honor to work in partnership with our senior senator, Ron Wyden, who has been on this journey with us all the way through. In fact, many of you may not know that he was one of the first public officials, certainly one of the first senators in the nation, to express support for gay marriage when he was asked about it, marriage equality, in 1995 when he was in a high-stakes campaign against Gordon Smith. He said, he responded and said more or less, I may not have it word for word, but the essence of it was everyone should be able to marry the person they love. And he said it in 1995. And when DOMA was debated before the U.S. Senate the following year, in 1996, he was one of 14 senators who voted against DOMA and said DOMA is just wrong. So I give you our senior senator, a incredible champion for LGBT rights, Senator Ron Wyden.